myself to present some Indian classical music. So I'm going to be using technology to accompany me, iPhone. I will be presenting a little evening prayer. It's in Rag Bihag, accompanied by music from other stages. Yeah, so here goes. Na
Anandi Bhattacharya. Ik ga even op het krukje naast hem zitten. Die zit op gelijke hoogte, dat heeft ze graag. Hello.
Hi.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that you're from a musical family because
Very safe.
quite a few of them were actually here today.
Yes, of course.
Your father
Yes.
and your uncle.
Well, he's not related to me, but that's how I revere to him.
Okay.
That's how I call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many parents, even if they are artists themselves,
Yeah.
they don't really encourage their offspring to become artists. How was that with you?
I was the opposite. I was disciplined very heavily as an artist. I mean, it was not even, I didn't even know when I kind of became one. I was 12 years old and still going to school when my father said that, hey, you are coming on tour with me. And I was very scared, very surprised, very happy at the same time. I think you will find in Indian traditions and in Indian parenting is very different from European and any world kind of parenting. It's very strict. We get beaten up and
Oh boy.
yeah, we get tied to windows and left in the dark in the bathroom if we don't do our homework or our
And you're not
practice.
joking?
I am not joking. I'm not joking. I wish I was, but I'm not joking. I was a really obedient kid as a child, but even then I got my share of beating and disciplining. But I think it served me good at the end because even though in the beginning it was drilled into me, the tradition, I found that as I grew up I related to it more as I grew up, and I find it very important that one must know one's own traditions because you shouldn't just think about others and the West, and you know, India right now is very westernized. So much that most children, most kids, most young adults of my age don't know their own tradition. So I think I'm thankful for it, yeah.
But pop music is in your ear. It
Yes,
has to be.
yes.
It's also in the way you deal with the microphone.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Well, in Indian music, because it's such an old form of music, the clinical approach of singing is only new. It's coming from the West, like how to care for your voice, how to sing with the head, the heart, and your stomach, all of the different voices. It's very different. For Indian music, most teachers back in India still don't know the clinical approach. So yeah, I think Western music has really helped me that way, yeah.
Is there a kind of rag police in India?
Oh, always. People are always going to be like, you hit that note that doesn't belong. And but there are a lot of Puritans. I mean, I was criticized because I sing jazz and blues and other rock, like I sing rock as well. And I really want to, because I don't think a person is meant to be singing just one thing specifically. I think if you want to try different things, you should be able to do that. And there shouldn't be any policing for that, so yeah.
And your own music is kind of a hybrid, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, my next project will be a proper hybrid. This was Indian music with world music orchestration, which was brilliantly thought of and conceived by my father. And yeah, it's really interesting because I saw Dad play with John McLaughlin, Derek Trucks, Jerry Douglas. These people are amazing artists themselves. Jerry
also
Douglas.
slide guitar.
Jerry Douglas has played with Alison Krauss so much. And I love Alison Krauss too. Whiskey Lullaby, favorite song ever. Yeah, so for me there was no way that I would not be exposed to Western culture. And when I saw Dad perform with John McLaughlin, there was no way that I wouldn't fall in love with jazz as well, you know. And I want to learn Western harmony, I want to learn jazz harmony, I want to understand it. So hopefully you will see more of that in my next album. Yeah.
Well, you did sing a Hawaiian song at the opening of the concert.
It's called A Cool Morning Dew. It was written by the Princess of Hawaii. again, like the instrument that my father plays, it came from America. It came from Hawaii. Well, today America, before Hawaii. Yeah. So yeah, lots of influences in who I am as a person as well. Yeah.
And even in this concert, you played like the Tagore poem. That was pretty straightforward. That was not really classical with.
No. And you know, classical doesn't have to be as complicated as it's made. You know. It's
nice to hear.
Yeah, because you know there was this artist with us backstage, and he was like, "Oh, this music is so complicated to understand," and I was like, "You don't really have to know the science behind the rainbow to look at it, or to experience it, or to see the beauty of it." So, I think it's important for classical musicians to be able to connect with their audience with enough expression and emotion. So, I mean, if you're not being able to do that, then you have failed as an artist, not the audience, in terms of understanding.
Right.
So, yeah.
I know that it is a tradition in India, but it always puzzles me how you can comfortably sing and sit.
Oh, yeah, years and years of practice, yeah. I still get jelly legs, so I don't know if I'm the only body who's getting that, but yeah, it's hard. I remember I used to fall asleep playing tanpura, but I was so young. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I was like falling asleep on stage because I didn't really understand the music, and I was really young. And but my fingers were still moving. You know, nobody complained. Everybody thought I was just meditating, but I was actually sleeping. You know, yeah, it's really hard to do it. But I think Indian music is. Or was like, you know, it was a discipline first. It was a way of life, and then you know, what you hear today is a very meditative music that's researched scientifically. Do you know that each combination of notes has a specific time when it is sung because it's got to do with the frequencies, right. You know, like and your mood. So Indian classical music is a very well researched genre, and it's attuned with your moods and your emotions through the day. So yeah, I mean, you should be able to connect to it right away.
Okay. So when you're on stage with your father and he's playing, he's constantly looking at you.
Yeah.
Is he looking for clues, or is that just a tender, loving father who's proud of his daughter?
Both. Safe to say both. But the thing about father is that he's been a solo artist for very, very long, and he likes to keep things spontaneous. So I think most of it is just communication of the two of us knowing when to come in together, and sometimes I'm like, no, I don't want to come in here, you know, you can play. And
because you're improvising, right?
And you know, it's also about comfort zones, and no matter how many years I spend with him on stage, I'm still going to be very intimidated because he's such a legend already. So I think sometimes it's safe to say that I go like, okay, I don't want to come into this bit, maybe you can take it from here, and I come in later. So it's all communication. Sometimes he's just crying on stage.
But you also had to develop a different role, being an accompanying musician.
Yes.
In his playing, I mean, you know, it's...
And it's beautiful. And his singing teacher, like his guru that he learned from before, he accompanied him for several years as well. So I think at this point it just comes very naturally to him, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you're going to sing one more song for us.
Yes, I will.
And it's a special treat.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you did on stage here.
Not something that I did on stage here, no.
Okay. Are we going to say what you're going to sing?
Yes, I am. I'm going to sing a Joni Mitchell song for you guys. Yeah.
Anandi Bhattacharya. Give her a big hand.
Okay. Just gonna find the lyrics because I wasn't planning on this, but yeah. And I'll do my best because it's very loud from the other stages, so yeah. Okay. Just Blue the hippest way to go, but I don't think so. But I'm gonna take a look around at the blue. I love you. Hey blue, here's a shell for you. Inside you'll hear a sigh, a folky lullaby. Here is your song from me. Thank you.
Anandi Bhattacharya, thank you very much for being with us.